Hello and welcome. Here is Eugene Bogoristov speaking, and today I'm going to make an additional video on how to work with a file if you split your experiment into two experiments. I made a video on this, and if you want to watch it, it is in the comment section down below. You can find the link to the video. Now I had a request from my student who split her file or her discrete experiment into two, and the reason for this is she wanted to test different products. And one of them were the tomatoes and the second one were the beans. And the issue is that you cannot use the product as the attribute, because at the end, people who go to a shop and decide to buy something, they will not exchange the tomatoes against the beans. That's why you have to test the tomatoes first, and then you have to test the beans. And this is what she did. So the first one, as you see, product were the tomatoes, and then she assumed that there's something might have impact on this. And we just go through the experiment to see what was the difference. You see she made 7 questions for tomatoes and then 7 questions for beans, and the attributes were the same, only the product was different. And what she did, she received a file that looks like this. And as you see, we have these variables f11, f21, and so on. These are for the attributes, and these are the levels, and so on. And after she split the experiment based on the video that I made for you, she also introduced additional variables, which start with B. So these are theoretically the same values for a different product. And now we need to merge the files into one. And the question is, of course, how you do it. And in this event, she made restructuring already. And the trick is that you have to make one intermediate step. You have to make one more restructuring. So if it looks like this after restructuring, you have the attribute products or origins, and then the options, then the product, how you know about the product, and so on, and the options, and here you have the next product. So what you need to do, you have to make an additional restructuring, and I'll show you in a second how you do it. First of all, we need to move the variables. This will make our life a bit easier. So all the variables that belong this actually the same value but for different products. And we just move these variables here. And just I do it because it will make our life a bit easier later during the restructuring. Then we have the attribute products. Here is the next one. Here is then the next one. We have also the attribute 3. So we are done with this new rearranging of the items. Now we have to make restructuring. You count the number of variables. These are the 19 pieces. So this is the first variable, second, third, fourth, and so on. You go to data, you go to restructure. This is the intermediate step. Yeah, we would like to save it. Why not? And we go to the next. Here you introduce 19 new variables. Next, and here you do the following. The first one, what we have here is the attribute. So the attribute name, it is the, I call it all because we have all products, attribute 1, and it is the origin. And here we add these 2 new products into one category because theoretically it is the same variable, just a different product, but this is what they have seen. You go to the next one, which is the attribute 1 option 1, and we call it also all because it will unite both products, and we add the next 2 things. And then you go to the next one, which is the all attribute 1 option 2, and you add the 2 options here, and so on. I just hit a pause and I make it for you, and then I'll show you in a second what will appear. So as you see, I have coded the variables. You can see that we have all the attributes, attribute 1 origins, attribute 1 option 1, attribute all attributes option 2, and you have that always A attribute and B attribute, so the two products. And I did it for all the attributes and all the levels, and the last variable is the all decision. And all decision is then the decision options they made for the first product and for the second product. The rest of the variables, they remain the same, so you just put them all into fixed variables. We go to the next. Here we have to have one variable. Next, the name of the variable index variable will be index product. And next, and next, and finish. And now the miracle occurs, and we have this new data set where we have all the attributes here. And if you go to index product, you have 1 and 2. You just need to describe what was 1, what was 2. We go to labels. And do we have to know the labels? We know the values. And the value 1 stands for the tomato. And variable 2 stands for beans. And now you can make the third restructuring what we made before, because the options is what they sort. Theoretically, you can form them into one and then continue with the analysis as I have shown you in one of my previous videos. So if you have these two products, if you split your discrete choice experiment into two parts, this is one of the ways you can work with it. Just add an additional step by restructuring, because the two experiments are actually the same, the products are different, but the attributes were the same. And this is how you do it. I hope you find it useful, and good luck with your analysis. See you and bye-bye.